right, so two things. One, it's cold in the shop. Two, snowstorming outside. But it's okay. At least here it's kind of, sort of, maybe-ish snow type. Forget the snow there and forget the snow there that's creeping into the shop. So, what we have to do today is start working on basically these gaps here on the front end. I kind of want to get this front end kind of squared away, but we might break from the overall kind of sleeper appearance of the old International, because right now I've been modeling it the best I can to keep it International looking. I'm thinking about, because I kind of like the idea of putting vents back here when we reconstruct that, help cool down the brakes, but there's no real help for that if you don't have an air inlet. I already got two gigantic holes here, so I'm kind of thinking on making two rectangular air inlets, about this big, skinny, kind of funnel into a nice little high pressure area, and then it will vent out the back. One clean sweep right across the wheel end. I think that's what we're going to do. The original Internationals definitely didn't carry that, and I could just put a flat plate, but that's an awful lot of unused space just for a flat plate, and it might look kind of tacky. Don't want to go for that. So I think an air inlet's going to help break this all up, and then we'll all be hunky-dory from there. Welcome to Iowa Stable Garage. Let's get at it. Let's start working. So again, this is kind of what I'm thinking here. We're going to have a rounded inlet. It'll be square going down to here, and it will slightly curl in just a little bit. We're going about that far deep in just because the tire itself will come up to that bump stop, basically right to here. I don't want to interfere with that tire for, the air part. I don't want it to hit. So we're only going to go in about that far, but I love the rounded look. That's what we've been trying to maintain on this. There's not a lot of parts that we put on this that's just rectangle, flat steel, that kind of stuff. So in order to get round corners, I'm kind of thinking on using this exhaust pipe here at the top. Cut a slit in it, end all be all, top and bottom, and then I can channel that down and it will be recessed into that plate. I think that's going to work out pretty good. And then I might even try to extend this guy into the bottom, kind of, throw it all together a little bit cleaner, maybe extend that out, and then we'll have our air inlet right here, kind of. Something to think about, or I think I'm actually going to do the air inlet the entire way down. We'll get the more bang for the buck that way. I think that's going to work out a lot better. So, no time like the present. I'm going to measure up some stuff. I'll put you guys over there. We're going to start cutting. I'm likely going to fabricate the air inlet oversized first for both sides, and then we can make our plate. It'll plate it off. Then we'll cut the plate, throw that guy in there, cut our piece off flush, weld it all in. It's a lot of cutting butt, but you know what? Cutting butt has treated us very well on this project, so might as well keep working at it. So first things first, we're going to build the actual air funnel first. Measuring off, we're going to go 7 inches deep on this guy, 9 inches tall. So basically, when this gets cut halfway, this will be the top. The other side will be the bottom. Between the two, 9 inches of steel will plate it. It's going to kind of shoot into, about a tube this size. So it's going to be kind of like a velocity stack at the end of the day. We're going to make 2 of those. And then after that, we'll make the actual panel, weld the panel in, work our way with that. So let me set you guys up. No time like the present. Let's get at it. All right, very good. Very good. Not bad at all. What I'm gonna have to do now, before we start cutting into this guy, there's a little bit of warpage done to the panel. I'm just gonna kind of flip this guy open, start hammering and dollying just a little bit of this warp out, kind of work it in, especially down at that little seam here, kind of goes in like this, kind of want to get rid of that. Let me work on that for a bit, and then, it's somewhere here, I have to try to find it. I'll show you guys the air inlet, because I guess I haven't even really showed you that yet, but we'll get to it. Let me hammer away. So that's kind of what it looks like, other than the bottom lip. I gotta extend that out, do that, but I'm gonna wait until that one's done. But that's kind of what we got going on. Made a new piece there. It helps transition a lot better than just a double piece. Got this main, basically blank canvas. Now, I'll back up all the way there. That's kind of what it looks like right now. I like it, but it's a little basic. I think if we're going to do something, I got to fill in that gap right there with something. And I got just the thing. We actually built one earlier today. But we're going to put that right there. This is going to be recessed in. This is an air intake for the brakes. I figure, you know, if we're this wide already, I might as well vent the back. But in order to do that, we kind of need an air intake on the front. So that's what it's going to be. We're going to have two built, one for each side. And it's going to recess in. Then we're just going to cut that to the length that we want after. This is kind of a basic shape right now. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut into our panel right here, get that the right shape, and we're going to feed that guy in, weld it, cut and butt, and we should be okay. So let me prop you guys up. It's going to be a little bit of finicky stuff, but I think we can manage. So let's get at it. Now, I think it turned out pretty good. Let's take a look. It's kind of what we got going on. So we're going to replicate that on the other side as well. But I think that breaks up the dry patch inside that grill phenomenally. Looks really good. Little look from the side, not too bad. Little look from the bottom, not too bad. I think it turned out pretty darn good. All right, so that's how we're making out so far with that other panel. Not looking too bad. Not looking too bad at all. Now, based off the other one, next thing that we have to do is this top guy right here. Get him done, the main structure done, and then we can kind of work on that little inlet. All right, so preliminary report. That's kind of what we got going on. Kind of looks neat with the single intake, but we're going to do a dual intake. We got to work on that side, but that's kind of the generality look that we're going for. Not bad at all. I quite like it, tell you the honest truth. It's really wide.
And like, I mean, it's really wide. It's a really wide truck now.
All right, so that's what it ended up looking like. Not too bad. There's a view from this side here. Not too bad at all. It breaks up the whole thing. Now we just got that big bottom piece. I'm figuring out what we're gonna do with that. Might just leave it, or I might not. Don't know yet. But that did its job. It broke up that section. So now there's stuff going on all the way through. And I think it looks pretty good. It adds a lot of depth to it.
Here's a little bit of a side view on that. Turned out all right. I'm happy with it. I think it's gonna do its job fine. And now the good thing is, front end's pretty much done. Got a little bit of work behind it that I have to do. But then we can move on to the back section.
And the back section, you know, it's gonna need a lot of work. Current plan is just Zeus these guys off both sides, rebuild this little section right here because there's a little bit of rot down there and never did it before. Build that, build my back fender, cut it, do all that stuff. Other videos.
So yeah, that's how this one went. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you guys either on the next part where, you know, we've cleaned up the back half, or, you know, we're just going to get right into those back fenders. I'll catch you guys in the next one really, really soon. All right, see ya.